Just because you're an atheist? The problem is you're trying to ram your atheism down our throats. Won't God kick out everything? The country was founded on God, fools.
Oh, that cuts so deep. That hurt, bruh. You ain't had to go there. Why I gotta be a fool, though? But it's funny you bring that up, that we're trying to jam atheism down your throats. Because as I drive around, I don't ever happen to notice any atheist churches with billboards telling us that we are lost and we need to seek the way with their churches. And I've never had an atheist knock on my door trying to bring me the good news. I've never had to debate atheists inviting me to their church. Actually, for me to find other atheists, I have to go on the internet, because most people around me who are atheists, they don't talk about it. You actually have to find out by doing some digging that somebody is an atheist most of the time. So for a Christian to turn around and say that atheists are trying to ram anything down their throats, when they go around trying to preach to everyone and convert everyone into some form of Christianity, and not bunch all of you together. If you follow the Bible, you're all in the same category, you're all in the same group. So, with that being acknowledged, it is highly hypocritical for a Christian to make the statement you just made. I watch your channel. I like some of the stuff you made because you seen the truth about Obama. You understood some of the truth about the political system, how the game is played. But it bothers me that someone who could see the scams and the games being played from one angle could completely miss an even bigger game and bigger scam that enables what allows people like Obama to get into power to happen. It's all because of faith-based belief systems with no evidence or proof to back them up. That's why people do crazy shit.
Hello and welcome to the truth, damn it. The atheists, they better start friending the Christians, because at least we tolerate you. The Muslims don't even tolerate you.
So hold up a second. Wait a second. So you're saying that us not believing in your religion, or not believing in your God, or subscribing to your belief system in general, makes us something to be tolerated? It's bothering you. It's something that needs to be fixed. There's something wrong with somebody not believing in what you believe in? Interesting.
Oh yeah, I bet you atheists better start loving Christians now. Over in Bangladesh, they locking them up. You may get the death penalty.
Yeah, I know. But I wonder, I guess you're saying that Christians have never killed or murdered anyone because of them not following their religion, huh? Christians follow the Bible, and the Bible actually says to kill people who don't listen to priests. For example, anyone arrogant enough to reject the verdict of the judge or of the priest who represents the Lord your God must be put to death. Such evil must be purged from Israel. Deuteronomy 17 chapter 12. Kill witches. You should not let a sorceress live. Exodus 22:17. Kill homosexuals. If a man lies with the male as with the woman, both of them shall be put to death for their abominable deed. They have forfeited their lives. Leviticus 20:13. Kill fortune tellers. A man or a woman who acts as a medium or a fortune teller shall be put to death by stoning. They have no one but themselves to blame for their death. Leviticus 20:27. Death for hitting dad. Whoever strikes his father or mother shall be put to death. Exodus 21:15. Death for cursing parents. If one curses his father or mother, his lamp will go out at the coming of darkness. All who curse their father or mother must be put to death. They are guilty of a capital offense. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the man and the woman must be put to death. So that's about half of the country right there that you should be killing. But I could go on, but let me stop there. I think I've made my point enough. Let's see if the evidence bears out. And I guess at this point it would be so absolutely crazy if we actually found some instances of Christians putting this information into action. But nah, that's impossible. Christians don't read the Bible. We all know that.
4 Bangladesh bloggers are facing up to 7 years in jail. You're lucky that's all you're getting, because you know how the Muslims do it. They will chop your head off.
You know, it wasn't a Christian who was found and charged with a car bombing that left over 151 people injured and 77 killed. Nah, he didn't do that. And he also didn't release a 1,500-page manifesto detailing that the immigrants were undermining Norway's traditional Christian values, and he identified himself as a Christian crusader. Interesting. You know, I guess in Uganda, the Lord's Resistance Army wasn't a bunch of Christians. You know, they were just a bunch of atheists or a bunch of Muslims. That's what they were. They weren't a bunch of Christians who were responsible for all those murders. I guess the Christians didn't have any extermination camps back in 1942 and 1943 in Croatia. I guess the Christians didn't do that. And I'm sure the Christians, it wasn't them who in 1954 wounded at least 24,000 people in street riots, who executed 80,000 people, and who detained 275,000 people and tortured them, sending about another 500,000 to concentration and detention camps. That wasn't true. You know, I guess Christians don't do that. That's impossible. I must be daydreaming or something. Christians have never murdered anyone. I should be looking out for the Muslims. I guess in Nigeria it's not Christians killing little children, thinking they're witches. All the little kids that's getting murdered because people believe that they are witches, or people just want to call them witches because they get sick and it costs the family too much money. But no, that's not Christians. No, that's not real Christians. The real Christians are here in America.
Yeah, you can't stand the Christians, but at least the Christians tolerate you. At least the Christians don't try to kill you.
After about 5 seconds of thinking about it, you know, using my brain and turning it on and processing the information that I receive from the outside world and synthesize it into coherent theories to direct my life actions. When I enter that process and I take advantage of it, what I realize is that Christians have a pretty bad track record of not killing people. And I won't insult your intelligence any further by providing you sources that you could easily look up and find for yourself. This is stuff that's out there. If you're on the internet, on YouTube, posting videos, looking at comments, checking your analytics, checking how much you made with your AdSense, then you also have the technical capabilities to do a little bit of Google research on the history of Christianity before you keep putting your foot in your mouth.
We know you ain't got a valid argument, but we just ignore you. Pray for them.
This is coming from a Christian who follows a faith-based belief system. The definition of faith is the removal of all logical processes and thinking. That's what you call faith, when you believe in something without any arguments, which is what all you Christians resort to when you get into an argument, is to say, oh, your arguments don't matter because I have faith. So how can you then turn around as a Christian and talk about how people don't have any valid arguments? But of course, it makes sense for someone who has and believes in a faith-based system to say that their logical and their mental opponents don't have an argument and they just know it. It fits in with the rest of your behavior. It fits in line with just having faith. So it wouldn't escape me that you just have faith, that we don't have a valid argument. It's not that you really know or tested it out.
Ain't no Christians trying to kill you.
Try telling that to them little girls in Nigeria, and try telling that to them people in Norway, and try telling that to them people in Vietnam.
I'm your host, the Doctor of Common Sense.
I don't know about that, bruh. Your card just been revoked, bruh. Ain't no way that you're the Doctor of Common Sense when you can't even see through a joke as obvious as Christianity. You've got to be kidding me, dude. The funny thing is, if you were the doctor of common sense, you would have looked into the history of Christianity and how was Christianity spread to people. You know, when I see black people and Hispanic people worshiping and following Christianity with their full devotion, it's kind of like you forgot your history to the max. You're the people who don't know nothing about your history because your ancestors died fighting against Christianity. All the colonization took place through churches first. All those countries that were colonized and eventually they started getting slaves from them, it all happened through churches first. The church came in, the missionaries. And the churches weren't friendly places offering you fruit baskets in those days. They used to whip people, punish people, and they used to torture people to get them to denounce their original religion and believe the Bible and start following in the Bible. Our ancestors had multiple gods. They had all kinds of different belief systems. Same for the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, so-called Native Americans. Same thing happened in Africa. And now you turn around today and you have black people and Hispanic people being the strongest believers in the religion that was used to oppress their ancestors. Your ancestors are literally rolling in their graves right now because they died for what they believed in, and you just rolled over and took what they died fighting against. That's the problem. So before you go and try calling yourself the doctor of common sense again, you got to reevaluate your entire thinking process and belief system. And I mean this in no way disrespectfully. I'm out.
Watching a nigga when I'm deep up in that coochie. She looked back at me, said, I love the way you do me. You keep doing me like this, I'ma be a little juvie. Don't wanna be your man, cause your pussy I'm pursuing. They handcuffing hoes, but these niggas really losing. I seen that same trick and hoe in the club last week shooting. Now I got her in my bedroom and I'm giving her a